Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to replace the speakers on this MacBook Pro model A1707. It's actually very similar on a lot of these MacBook Pros with the butterfly, and I think a lot of the other ones as well. But we're going to be using a P5 or Pentalobe 1.2 screwdriver and removing all the screws from the bottom. Alright, you want to keep them in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. And actually they are. These two in the corner back here are different. And I put them like that, flat side down on my desk in the pattern to remove them. And then also down here, two of them, these two are different from these two. So keep that in mind. Don't just throw them all in a bucket or whatever, however people do it. You do want to keep them in order. They are different size and you don't want to mix them up, all right? Okay, so let's go ahead and get all these screws. Okay. Actually, in this case, these four might be the same, but either way, it's a good idea to keep all the screws in order. All right, once we get these 6 screws out, we're going to go ahead and pop the bottom cover off. So I'm going to get underneath here, and then I can actually get in with my fingernails, but if you want, you can use plastic pry tools or a suction cup to help. And then once you get underneath, it helps to push down on the palm rest area and then pull up here. So I use my fingernails to pull up, and then I push down with my thumb, just like that. You can do the same thing on this other side. Work your way over. Okay, there are clips in the middle as well, but they pop out as you pop these out. Once you pop those clips, we're gonna raise it up like this. Get your hand inside like this. Hold on here. Be careful because this edge is sharp and you don't want to scrape the back of your hand. And I'm going to push down here, keep my fingers over here so the laptop doesn't fall over. We're going to pull down, push down with this hand and pull down with the other. And it pops like that. You can see it forms a gap. We're going to go to the other side and then do the same thing. If you can't pull down one of the sides, switch to the other side and try that one. And then if it still doesn't come out, just switch back and forth until you can get it down. It does take quite a bit of force. It is a little dusty in here, so I am going to clean it up and then we'll be back. They said the speakers don't sound too good. There's a little dust here. I'm wondering, actually this speaker doesn't even really move. Like this one is very gooey and then this one's kind of like stuck. So anyways, we're gonna clean it up and then we're gonna replace the speakers. All right, we did have to order some on Amazon. If you need a link for that, just let me know. All right, I'll be back. All right, so I'm back. We shouldn't need to disconnect the battery or anything. If you need to see how to do that, I do have other videos showing that. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and remove the speakers now. So I'm gonna zoom in. Let me see if I can show you this. So basically you just get underneath this little fabric-y part because there's some adhesive. You want to be careful to peel this up. Once you get that peeled up, get as close as you can to the connector. Make sure you're not prying up the part on the motherboard, but then you can just pull this up just like that, okay? So same thing on the other side. It has that fabric-y cable covering the wires. So we're gonna slowly peel that up, okay? Then get as close as you can to the connector and then just pop that up just like that, okay? And there's that adhesive. All right, so these speakers, they're just held down with some very strong adhesive, so it's kind of very annoying. Let me show you what the replacement speakers look like. The left and right are two different speakers, so make sure that you do get the right set, okay? So here we go. This is what the speaker looks like. They put this little thing on top to protect it so it doesn't get punched in, and then you have the adhesive protection here. So you can't actually get used speakers because of how difficult it is to get these speakers out. They're going to be damaged when you remove them. So keep that in mind. You can't really get used speakers. The only way you can kind of technically get used speakers is if you're replacing the whole keyboard assembly and you have like a used like keyboard palm rest assembly that you're popping in. All right, so again, keep that in mind. It's not something where you can just get a replacement. All right, so what I'm going to use to get this out is this thin metal pry tool here, and we're just going to get in the little edge or the lip here. Okay, and I'm just gonna kind of be twisting this up. If you have like a thin metal like spudger or something, that will work as well. But again, this, like the amount of force it takes to get this out is gonna kill the speaker. So make sure if you're taking these out that the speakers are already dead. Okay, so once you pry it up some, at least with this tool, I can kind of get it down into this groove here, and then we can use that to help kind of pry it up even more. But again, this is very difficult to pop out. The other thing you can do that can actually help a little is you can get a little isopropyl alcohol, and because we got that pried down there, we can pour a little of the isopropyl alcohol in there, and that will kind of flood into the adhesive and slowly help release it, okay? So this is like a long process. It's not something you can just quickly, easily pop out, so keep that in mind. I don't know if somebody has a nicer, easier way to do this, but yeah, this is the way I've been doing it. And these speakers, actually, I don't see break too often, but the older model, I've seen a lot of them. So yeah, maybe because they're newer, that the membrane isn't like bad yet. But again, you do have to just slowly work on this and slowly pry it up, and eventually you'll be able to get it out. And yeah, it's a pain in the butt, but it is what it is. All right, so get that in, and you can see now we got it lifted up a bit. We're just going to slowly keep peeling, and you can see it's peeling itself up. Okay, then slowly continue pulling very slowly. Okay, be very careful not to damage any other components while doing this. And I'm pretty sure the isopropyl alcohol helped peel that up. But there you can see. All right, we're gonna now pull up from this side, and there we go. All right, and this has like this kind of stretch release adhesive. So once you kind of get it out, you can see you can actually pull on this adhesive and it will stretch to allow you to release it, okay? So the cleanest way to do this is if you don't use any isopropyl alcohol, because it will dissolve the adhesive and then make it a little bit gooey over here. So let me see if I can show you how to remove, if I remove the other one without using any isopropyl alcohol. But again, it is very tough, okay? So we'll set that, toss that. Okay, you can see there's a little bit of this goopiness there. If you need to clean that out, what you do is you get some paper towel, and then you just put some isopropyl alcohol right onto the adhesive, okay? And then let it soak a bit, and then once it soaks, you can kind of scrape it out and then clean it up. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll let that one soak a little bit. Let's go ahead and try out the other speaker, okay? Again, this is kind of a difficult process, but it is what it is. All right, so just keep prying it slowly, slowly. Okay. All right, if you can get like a bigger tool in there slowly to help it speed it up, to help hold it raised. Okay, and that will help. Okay, so get this tool down in there, in that gap, and then we'll continue like prying this up here. All right, and with this tool, I don't want to pull it too far too fast, because then the tool will just get bent and stay permanently bent. Okay, so we'll just keep pulling. And the adhesive, because it like slowly stretches and releases, if you keep just holding it, it should eventually kind of pull itself up. Okay, but it is going to take some time. And if you have more pry tools to kind of help it along, that would help. That would be good. So let's see if I can use this plasticky one over here, but it's most likely just gonna break. Okay, let's get a little bit further over here. And also it helps, you can also twist the tool to help pry it up. Okay. Let's see if that's lifted enough to get this popsicle stick in there. No, not quite. Okay, there we go. So here you can see we can get that popsicle stick in there. And then I'm gonna actually slide that over. Okay. And the popsicle stick will help pry that up. And then we can actually get the popsicle stick in with this if we can. Let's try it. Oh, that didn't work. Usually you can. Okay, well, that didn't work. So let's just keep prying, I guess. Okay, get that in and keep prying up. Oh, actually it would help to use like a flathead screwdriver with this. So we can get the flathead screwdriver in there, and then we can help kind of twist and pry it up. Okay, and then once it kind of reaches a certain point, then the adhesive starts releasing. You can see, or you can hear it. Okay, get the tool further in and keep prying and twist some more. There we go. Come on, and there we go. You can see it's slowly releasing. Okay. now that we've got it that high, we can get a popsicle stick under there. Okay, and we can continue prying. And there we go, and then slowly keep pulling this up. And there we go. All right, then we can peel this all out. Okay, and there we go. We got the stretch release adhesive out. Okay, so those are the two bad speakers. Got this. Oh, and also this kind of did get pushed out a little bit, so let's push that back in. Okay, because this part of the aluminum is thin. Okay, so oops, I waited till the isopropyl alcohol dried, so I'm going to have to put it again to dissolve that if I'm going to clean it off. Okay, then I'm going to use paper towel and we're just going to kind of wipe it up. Okay, smudge it around, clean it. And you want to use a clean side so you don't get the adhesive into the speaker grates. You don't want the speaker grill or whatever that's called to get clogged with adhesive. So be careful with that. Make sure you're using a clean piece of paper towel if you're cleaning in that area. Okay, so there we go. That's clean. Now we just got to put the new ones back in. Okay, so make sure you check to make sure you have the right one in the right spot. This one has a smaller connector. That's how you know. This is the left side speaker, but when it's flipped over like this, it's on the right. Okay, we're going to peel this red layer off to remove the adhesive protection. And then we're going to slowly drop that in. It helps to click this in first. Okay, we're going to have to pull it back up after, but click that in first. Then we can go ahead and drop this down into place. Good. Push that down. Be careful with this. Okay, then we can go ahead and peel this protective layer off. Good. Now we can pop this back up, or actually we can actually peel that off without doing that, and then stick that down. All right, so we're gonna do that on both sides. We're pretty much almost done. There's a little adhesive residue here, not as much as the other side, but let's go ahead and clean that up as well. All right, these speakers actually hold in really strong, so it's not really that important to clean off this adhesive residue, but it's nice to have a better solid stick. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and now try and clean that off. Good. Okay, switch to a clean side and get in there. All right. Okay, so there we go. Let's go ahead and get the other speaker. Same thing, peel this off. Okay, click this into place to get it lined up, and then lower that down. I like to pull it over to the outer frame to make sure it stays aligned properly. Pull that. Okay, you can peel, oops, peel this thing off. There we go, stick that down, and then peel this off. And we're pretty much good to go. Let's go ahead now and put the thing back together. I don't have the customer's password, so I can't really test it till they get back. So I'm gonna be testing that with the customer off camera, and you'll just have to trust me that it worked because we replaced the speakers. So yeah, let me actually get the bottom cover, put that back on, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, give me a second. All right, so let's get this bottom cover on. So you line up one of the edges, either the left or right, doesn't matter. Hold this down and then we'll slide it up. All right, then we'll go to the other side, hold that down and slide that up. You should feel it actually gripping. So now if you kind of lift this, you can see it's hooked in. Basically, it has little hooks that hook into the air vents here. Okay, so there we go. Click that all down and then get all the screws in, and that's pretty much it. Again, hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, please make sure to like, comment, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their device as well, and subscribe. And if it hasn't, if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. All right, and yeah, if you can't contribute that way, if you can watch a few of my other videos, because the YouTube algorithm likes to see that, like and comment on those, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. You're welcome to stay as I get these screws in. I'll probably just power it on. Maybe if this one allows me to do a PRAM reset, you might at least hear the Apple boot chime. And yeah, I probably should have started up before just to hear what it sounded like. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. Let's flip this over and see what we got. All right. Okay, and it's powering on. All right, I'm gonna shut this down. Okay, so the what do you call PRAM reset worked, or I mean SMC reset worked. So let's power it on and do a PRAM reset. If SMC reset worked, PRAM reset should work. There's the sound, and PRAM reset worked, and it sounds good. It's nice and loud. Customer was saying before it was like very muffled and stuff, but it sounds good, so must have fixed the issue. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Let's drop this. Bye.